Welcome back to This Week in Esports and Gaming for April 12th through April 18th of 2021. I'm your host, 𝗠兄, and this week's episode is sponsored by Zoom. They do some really cool analytics, social analytics tracking in the gaming and esports space. I've covered a lot of their sponsorships and partnerships as well in the past, so I'm very happy that they're sponsoring today's episode. If you want to check them out down below in the comment section, I would appreciate that. We're just going to dive into today's episode. Today's theme, lots of raises and IPOs within the gaming and esports space. So for our first top 3 story, we're going to talk about one of those, Enthusiast Gaming. They're the parent company of Luminosity Gaming, the Vancouver Titans, and the Seattle Surge. They have announced they're going to list on the NASDAQ. So Enthusiast, they want to aim to expand their shareholder base and increase development, and they've already filed their registration statement on the Form 40F with the SEC. Enthusiast Gaming is already on the Toronto Stock Exchange, as well as the OTCQB, which is an American mid-tier equity market. So my thoughts here, with them already being listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, they're obviously trying to diversify their American investor audience, since one, there's a larger audience of investors with more money in America, and two, the fan base is larger in the United States. So we've seen multitudes of ways esports orgs can actually raise money, from crowdfunding to Series A, Series B, Series C rounds, now to IPOs. And if esports orgs really want to monetize themselves fully and create a fan atmosphere around their org, IPOing is potentially a really good way to actually push this forward. While currently people can actually bet on their favorite esports organizations, this is a great way for consumers to actually learn about the business side of the organization, since they wouldn't just be following the team's results, but they're also following their investments, what creators are they picking up, things like that, where they choose to put their money. Enthusiast is among some others like Astralis to actually be listed on stock markets, but going for the NASDAQ, this is specifically targeting Americans, which could mean folks like myself could invest. For our second top 3 story, Twitch Rivals partnered with Logitech G and State Farm for the first partnership. Logitech G's products, they'll be promoted throughout Twitch Rivals events, and with some activations including giveaways for viewers and donations to charity. The overall activation began on April 13th last week with the League of Legends Wild Rift tournament. And for the second partnership, State Farm, they'll become the official insurance provider of Twitch Rivals. Assets and activation plans include a State Farm Spotlight series that actually features casters and hosts analyzing gameplay and player strategy in a branded content integration during these live streams. State Farm will also be the presenting part of a tournament to be later on announced. So my thoughts here, by promoting the more creator-led tournaments, right, Twitch has obviously seen its investment into Twitch Rivals pay off. Usually, and I say usually, it's a win-win for both sides, since creators get to play in something very cool and with other creators for some cash, while Twitch gets all the eyeballs of the fans of these creators, which is great for reporting for sponsors. It's also great to see this mesh between competitive esports and personalities, because honestly, I think it's more successful, and the key thing, scalable, than the top tier of esports if you think about it. So a creator will usually have more personality than a specific esports organization, and overall, a personality is able to capture the attention of a wider audience than that of just specifically folks looking for competitive titles, of people looking to be the best in that specific video game. I think Twitch will continue to fund top-tier esports tournaments and titles via support on the platform, but the real money comes through their own brands like Twitch Rivals that will cross-promote so many viewers to other channels in a semi-competitive manner. OverActive Media, the parent company of Mad Lions, the Toronto Ultra, and the Toronto Defiant, they raised $40 million and they partnered with Hacks. As a result of the investment, the NHL's Montreal Canadiens have joined the OverActive Media's ownership group, as well as the Arizona Coyotes' Phil Kessel and Washington Capitals' Carl Hagelin. This is the first time that the Montreal Canadiens have entered into the esports space, and what do they do instantly with some new investors on board? Well, they show that they can make some more relationships by debuting their partnership with Hacks, with t-shirts, hoodies, and hats being collaborated on. Guess what? Just last week, Hacks partnered with Nick Merckx on custom boxes too. So both of these brands are really doing something right. It's something with these Canadian organizations. I don't know what, but it's just pushing them to be more and more ambitious in these past few months. We've mentioned now 2 Canadian esports orgs just in the top 3 section. They're obviously hungry to capture the attention of American investors and American organizations, with large sports professionals participating in that round. This leads me to ask the question of how different American and Canadian markets are in regards to fan bases, game popularity, and viewership. As some of you may know, I recently did my undergrad thesis on mobile esports, and where I discovered how even different countries in Southeast Asia have different preferences for platforms, games, and esports. I spoke to the regionalization of various titles in those countries, and I'm wondering if that applies here too. It seems that though, for the most part, American and Canadian gamers aren't all that different. For the partnership side of things, Levi's and NRG Esports, they partner up. This is their first time doing something in the esports space in the US, and the focus here is on the iconic jeans brand, outfitting NRG players and streamers with its apparel, as well as co-branded content projects. Nadeshot partners with Excedrin. The partnership includes a 6-step mindfulness routine designed to help reduce both physical and mental stress that can lead to painful symptoms while gaming. I'm sure this is something Nadeshot deals with on a daily basis due to some potentially famous interns maybe causing a ruckus at the office. Liquipedia partners with VIE.bet. VIE.bet will be integrated into Liquipedia's Dota 2 and CSGO pages, allowing its visitors to see the odds and place bets through the betting platform beginning on May 3rd. The Coyotes have signed a deal with gaming platform developer Rival to provide back-end technology that is now powering the NHL's new Coyotes gaming initiative. The deal will see Coyotes use Rival's white label technology to run its gaming platform that it launched last week with its first hosted tournament. The Japanese esports org Rush Gaming, they partner with ASTRO Gaming. ASTRO Gaming has supported a number of initiatives made by Rush Gaming in the past, including the Rush Gaming Warzone Challenge, and now as an official sponsor of the team. They're going to provide the players with gear as well as get a logo spot on their jersey. CLG partners with Samsung. Samsung will now be the presenting partner of CLG's amateur tournament series, which also includes the creation of digital content and brand integration throughout the org's channels. The Houston Outlaws partner with North American wellness company Boomer Naturals. The deal will see the company provide vitamin energy to Outlaws players and coaches in a bid to promote the feel-good focus and peak performance. Gen.G partnered with ROCCAT. ROCCAT will become the organization's official PC gaming accessories partner for its Overwatch, League of Legends, and PUBG teams, as well as its roster of content creators. After recently partnering with the LCS last week, ROCCAT is making some big moves in the esports space. Ghost Gamer, they partner with Gen.C. Ghost Gamer, most notable for their partnership with Vitec Gaming, has been named the official esports partner of Gen.C, making it the exclusive vendor of esports lifestyle products for Gen.C. Ghost Gamer products, featuring flavors from partner brands such as Sour Patch Kids, Swedish Fish, and Sonic Drive-In fast food chains, will also be sold at Gen.C retail locations. For finance and M&A, Singaporean esports org RSG, they raised $1 million. The round was led by Frontsight Capital Fund, an esports private equity fund managed by Singaporean firm Tembusu Partners, and will be used to continue RSG's investment in local talent cultivation, along with a new focus to establish brand new training facilities for its teams. The North American esports competitive platform Generation Esports, they raised $10.8 million in their Series A. The funding will be used to support the organization's community and student initiatives within the esports space, and the round was led by Alto Ventures and FJ Labs. The French highlight and clip sharing platform Powder raised $14 million in their Series A. They intend to increase the pace at which they are building the video infrastructure of social gaming with this raise. The Vitec Group has acquired cloud-based live streaming platform Lightstream for $35.9 million. Lightstream will be incorporated into the Vitec Group's California-based division, Creative Solutions, and Vitec paid $21.9 million in consideration for the acquisition upon its completion, with an additional $14 million over the next 3 years in conjunction with the business transaction. Krafton announces their IPO in Korea at a $17.9 billion valuation. Krafton also reported the revenue of $1.5 billion in 2020, as well as operating profits of $694 million in 2020. Seoul-based analysts have valued Krafton at around $17.9 billion, which is a significant amount lower than the $27.2 billion valuation reported by Bloomberg in January. AppLovin IPO at a $30 billion valuation. Reuters reported that the company sold 22.5 million Class A common shares, while existing shareholders sold a further 2.5 million shares ahead of its listing on the NASDAQ Global Select Market. While AppLovin is a mobile services firm that aids other developers with monetizing their games, they also own 12 studios and operate more than 200 games themselves. As far as workforce changes go, Samantha Halverson joins NZXT as the SVP of People and Culture. Before NZXT, she served as the VP of Global HRBP at the Nike-owned brand of Converse for more than 8 years, and she also served as a senior HR executive at Nike itself for 6 years. Clinton Foy joins UTA as a venture capital partner, working alongside Sam Wick, the head of UTA Ventures. Clinton's work will focus on growing and developing the company's investment platforms. Prior to joining UTA, Clinton was a general partner and managing director at CrossCut Ventures, where he was the lead investor in several successful companies, including Streamlabs, PlayVS, and FitOn. As far as new stuff goes, Tampax announced the Tampax Gaming Fest to educate and empower gamers with periods to feel more confident as they pursue esports and break down gender stigmas as well. Tampax hosted their first ever event this last Friday with creators like Kitty Plays, Catgun, 𝗠𝗿𝗶, and Aaron Ashley Simon partaking in the event. Misfits Gaming Group launched their Women of Misfits platform. The Women of Misfits platform includes a monthly speaker series with industry leaders and visionaries, which will be broadcasted on Misfits Gaming Group's YouTube channel. Moderated by NRG executives, the sessions will focus on mentorship, development, networking, and advocacy for women in the esports space. That's it for this week in esports and gaming. Credit to Esports Insider, the Esports Observer, Game Industry Biz, and the orgs and authors themselves for providing the images and press releases.